Raid Shadow Legends, we're going to talk about balancing arena and what we need to do to balance arena. And if you're going to balance champions right now, you should just do a total sweep and balance the real problems that we have in arena pretty much at this point in the game. Don't go ahead and just do one champion. Let's go ahead and hit a whole bunch of champions. But let's look at arena right now. I am placed number 1. And at number 1, you don't get anybody to fight. Like 0. I have 10 tokens. I've had 10 tokens. I went to bed last night. I woke up. I wait for the refresh timer, 15 minutes, and then I hit refresh. I'm not going to spend tokens, of course, and I still have nobody to fight. So that is what it's like to be at number 1. It is very, very lonely, and I put up a defense that anybody could beat so that whoever is up here can beat me, and then I could eventually drop down to like 4th and then be able to farm all day and, work on my Great Hall. So here's my thing. In all these gacha games that I've played over 7 years, there's always give and take. There's always play that is balanced so that you can be smart about who you bring in. You bring in additional champions, and usually to get a job done, most of these games that I play, you have to bring in multiple people, not one person that takes care of everything. And I think that's a big problem with some of the things in Raid. They give a champion a little too much. They give it too much that other champions, so you don't need to bring in somebody else, basically. So let's just go ahead and dive into it. Now, there's going to be a lot of things that people who have these champions aren't going to agree with, and they're not going to like. I understand that, but even if I have these champions, I still want this done for balancing purposes to make the game much better than it already is. I know if you're one of those people that are like, I have this champion, don't touch it, dislike, that's fine. Go ahead and dislike, but you're not looking at the bigger picture. You're just thinking that your champion needs to be stronger than everybody else, and that's what you want. Believe me, that's not what's needed. Now, a lot of these cases that I'm going to talk about, if the champion only did this to one enemy, and I'm going to make reference to that, then it would be fine. It would be really good play. Play and counterplay. That's what you need when you need an arena. You need to be able to combat what they have and have this counterplay to be able to get a really good arena going. Let's just dive into the first few things. The first few things are just that I've noticed that are easy things, and they're just about pure damage. So what I've noticed for the most part is, what is Cernic? A Sacred Order? Cernic does way over too much damage for what he does utility-wise. He has a 50% chance to freeze you. He does damage, and then based on that damage, does a shield to your whole group. It's on a 3-turn cooldown, which is insane. This one is on a 4-turn cooldown, does unkillable for 2 times, and continuous heals for two turns. And he has a great lead. So all that put together, he should not be doing the most damage in the game for an HP-based champion, which really is almost, his multipliers have to be so crazy because he's doing as much damage as you would a attack fragile champion or anything else. These numbers really need to be brought down. They need to be brought down. That's just it. For what he does, I mean, you saw all the support stuff he does too. It's insane that he does that much damage. Based off of HP, his survivability is insanely high. So you all know that. You've all known about Cernic. Let's just admit it. It's too high. Okay? Now let's move on to the next one. The next one is a Demon Spawn. Crutrexa. Now, we're not even going to talk about her skill 1, ignoring 50% of defense. Of course, it hits insanely hard, depending on what gear you have as well, just like any champion. If we put Savage gear, if we get high critical damage, of course, any champion is going to hit hard. We get that. But couple that with the 50% decrease in defense, additional, it is truly insane. And not even just that. Her skill 2 hits insanely hard. I would really like to know her multipliers on skill 2 for sure because it hits so damn hard. And then for sure the skill 1 to see. Because if her multipliers are the same, let's just take, we're just guessing here. If her multipliers are the same as everybody else on this skill 1, which I highly doubt it, then we just need to lower this percentage. We need to lower this to 30% or something lower to bring it within line because pretty much the way she is right now, she can kill somebody with this ability without setup now. And kill somebody with this ability. And that's what it's all about. If we have a setup to where we have to give her increased attack. Of course we have to give her increased attack. We have to give anybody increased attack. Skull Crowns, whatever else. Yes. You give them increased attack, they're very strong. That's not really a setup. Now you need to do a decreased defense, remove shields, all that kind of stuff to really make it a setup, to make it a legitimate setup. But with her, you really don't need to. She does so much damage. Now, I would like testing done on that. I would like to see what her multipliers are. I would like to see gear testing compared to other people. Just to see. That way we don't get too crazy and nerf her, which I don't want crazy nerfs to anybody who do not deserve it, but I would like testing done, and they can do that in-house, right? They can definitely do that in-house. And it still wouldn't, I'm not talking about take her advantage of being a top tier single target damage dealer away. The problem lies within that she can do this, and then she takes an extra turn and can do that again. And if they're both one-shotting, if this is one-shotting most of the time, if this is one-shotting most of the time, then you're taking out 2 people within 1 move, which is really ridiculous without any major setup. If we need to decrease defense down, then okay, it's still very powerful. I get it, no problem. We get attack on her, we get decreased defense down on the enemy. We come in, we kill somebody with this, we kill somebody with this. Still stupid strong, but right now you don't even need to do that, so that makes it really overpowered strong, if you know what I mean. It really shouldn't be that way. We need more of a setup with it. I'm sure there's some things we could play with. And again, I don't mind keeping her to the highest single target damage in the game. We just need to do a little bit of something because that extra turn is the real kicker with both of them being able to nuke somebody down. That's my really only gripe. Now let's get into some other fun things that we need to take care of. So Augur here is in, where is he? Ogren? Now, Gorgo the Augur. He has an ability here that is, now, granted, he doesn't have a lot of other stuff going for him. This one, if they're frozen, he does major damage. This one places an extra hit if the target has a freeze debuff. I get it. And then this is really cool. This is actually really good in Arena. This ability, now the reason why you don't want abilities like this all tied up into one is because, again, you want that counter play. You want to be able to go up against this guy. You know you're going up against this guy. You want to be able to put up block debuff so you don't get frozen. That's the whole smart part about it. You want that. You don't want a guy that can go in there and remove that and then freeze people. Usually that doesn't happen. If you go up against somebody who has a whole bunch of immunity artifacts on or places a block debuffs on their team, then you bring in Madame Siri or somebody else like that and remove it. Then you do his AoE to freeze. So that's the setup, and you need additional people for it. You don't have it all wrapped into one. So even if I have immunity artifacts on my champions, which is a 4-piece set, he can come in, remove that, and then place the freeze. So what I propose is to make it to where he removes all debuffs except for immunity. So if you could program this to where he comes in, he removes all buffs from the enemy, is what I meant to say. Removes all buffs from the enemy, but does not remove immunity. So if you put up, block debuffs buff, immunity buff, then he cannot remove that. So it'll still remove everything else. So let's just take, for instance, I have a block debuffs buff up on my guys, and I have a shield buff, and I have plus increased attack, whatever else. He's going to remove everything but that one buff that we have up that blocks debuffs, which is good. He's still removing a whole bunch of stuff that could be up, but then he's not able to freeze us. Then he's going to try to freeze, and he's not able to freeze us. Unless, of course, we come in with somebody else first to get it set up. So we need something done, right? And it's the same thing for Ray. So I'm going to jump over to Ray, very super strong champion. Ray is in, what is she, a Dark Elf? I cannot remember right now. I should have looked ahead of time, yeah. So Ray comes in here, and she attacks all enemy, removes all buffs, and then has a chance to freeze. Now again, another champion that has too many things wound up into one. Removes all buffs, good, I like it. Let's get somebody in there who removes buffs. It's an attack champion, very great. But the freeze component is too much. Somebody else should be doing that freeze. You should have to set it up with other champions to be able to do that freeze. After she goes first, because then you need speed order, you make her go first, remove all the buffs, boom, now you have somebody else like Gorgo that we just saw come in and freeze everybody. That makes for smart play and not wraps everything. It doesn't wrap too much into one champion to make them too strong, and then we can have some good arena battles. This is too much. To remove everything, and then they have no counter to that except for a high resistance, that's it. And then she can have high accuracy, so we can't really go with that argument. You can never go with the argument of, hey, I can have 500 resistance because guess what? I have 500 accuracy, and a lot of my people, it's not really hard. Anybody can do it. So whatever resistance you can have, we can have the same amount of accuracy, so that is off the board. She can remove it, and then she can freeze you, which is too much because then to recover from that, there's not a lot you can do in Arena. And again, it's not smart because you just need one champion to do it. So we need to do something with this. I don't know what we would do. Remove buffs, yes, keep it. I like that she can remove buffs, and she's an attack class champion that can do really good damage. But the freeze part kind of needs to go. It really does. I know it sounds bad, but the freeze part needs to be removed. It needs to turn into something else like plus weaken. 25% weaken to all enemies. Removes all buffs and then applies weaken, and then you come in with your AoE cleave and do major damage because she's already got decreased defense on her skill 1. So let's go with the weaken on her skill 2. That would be great. And then we can keep this one with more damage if they have debuffs on them. And she's applying a debuff. That's smart. I like that. Now, I know a lot of you aren't going to agree because it's messing with your champions that you have, but That's really what needed to do if you come from the viewpoint that I'm coming from. And it doesn't change up these champions. It doesn't make them not special, right? It still makes them unique. It still makes them special. They're still great champions. Everybody's going to want them. You just got to get over that, oh man, they just changed my champion kind of feel to it. Once you get used to it, you'll be fine. And the game, the total game will be better off for it. I promise you, promise you, promise you. Okay, everybody knows Hegemon. Block, cooldown, skills. I'm going to say the same thing with him as I did with Ray just a minute ago. Obviously, we need to remove this block, cooldown, skills. Everybody can agree. Even the people who have Hegemon agree, but half of them don't want to say it. They just want their special little, I'm going to get this RNG win. First off, he goes first no matter what. Great. Goes first. We're going to get a decreased attack, so any attack people you have on your team pretty much are really severely nerfed. That's fine. I get that. But the problem is he can put on artifacts that sleep, stun, provoke. Once you have those artifacts on, it doesn't matter the resistance, doesn't matter anything else, he can pretty much get you fairly easily. Then you put on masteries that increase the debuffs that you apply. I've been locked out for 3 turns multiple times. 3 turns. If you start a game where you're decreasing attack, luckily, you know, I'll have defense champions or something like that, so this won't affect those that much. But when you lock out champions for 3 turns, then, I mean, you've won the game no matter what. I mean, it's really that easy. Seriously. And then you include those artifacts on top of it. So this needs to be removed, and I propose put on the 25% weaken. AoE, decrease defense, and weaken. That way, once you bring in your AoE cleave or your single target attack, they have a weaken up and are taking 25% additional damage. And you've already hit them with a decreased attack. And more than likely, you have those crazy artifacts on them. So you're going first, and you're already doing other crazy stuff. You don't need to lock out for 3 turns. You're already provoking sometimes, free stunning sometimes, and, you know, sleeping sometimes. It's insane. We all know this needs to be changed. So please, please, it needs to be changed. And then Torment. We've got Torment that just came in recently. I've done videos on him. I've talked about how I would switch him up, but I'm going to tell you again right now. What I would do would just make this buff, this passive, work when anybody gets a buff. That's it. And I've explained it on the other video why, because if you only do heals on this, then it's too weak. If you do turn meter, it's too strong. If you do buffs, it is just right, and it will still shake up the speed meta completely. Just thinking about it, nobody can speed buff. You still can't speed buff with Apothecary, Seeker, Lysandra. Any of those people still apply buffs when they do their turn meter increase. So boom, he will have a chance to freeze them at a 30% chance with masteries. Like I've got right now, 30% chance. But he won't have like 4 or 5 consecutive additional times from all this other kind of stuff. But it only goes off of buffs. Just think, when Martyr, Valkyrie, anybody else tries to apply buffs, this guy has a chance to get you on those. If it is Arbiter and you don't want to speed boost with Arbiter skill 2, which gives a 30% increased turn meter and attack, you can speed boost with her skill 4, but that also has her revive wrapped into it. So yes, she can get a 20% increased speed boost to everybody else and bypass this. We get that. But now her revive is down, which is the huge thing about Arbiter. If you don't know, yes, she does the speed lead and speed increase. Great. But if she did not have that revive, she would be nowhere as good. She's got a team revive, take an extra turn if it's up, then more turn meter and a heal. You put that all together, it's insane. Now, if you make it to where she can only, where she has to use the revive to boost, otherwise she's going to get a chance to get everybody frozen, then it's on cooldown. She can't revive anybody anytime soon. It's going to take some turns, and you're good to go. It makes for a much better play. And there's other people out there as well. So it makes for a smarter play. It's not as crazy. And this guy's going to work well against a lot of other people, not just turn meter boost, which he does right now. He works against everybody. This guy works against everybody. He's insane. But I think that would balance Torment and make him much better. So let me know your thoughts. Please write the comments below on how much you hate everything I've said. And your Cernic, your Crutrexa, your Augur, your Ray, my Hegemon doesn't need to be touched because you like the way they are. But you got to think about it as the total. And again, I'm going to pull these champions. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to pull a Ray. I like Ray a lot. I'm going to pull her. And when I pull her, I'm going to say the same exact thing because I don't care about having an overpowered champion. That doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is balance so that we can have good gameplay. So we can go in here and have good counter gameplay, and it's not just one-sided, or you bring in this one champion who does multiple crazy things like a Hegemon and win the battle. That shouldn't be what it's about. It should be smarter than that. The game should be a lot smarter than that for all of us. So I wish you all the best. Please let me know your comments below. Flame me, blast me, say whatever you want. But let me say constructively why you think they shouldn't be changed that way. If you don't agree with it, definitely let me know exactly why and what situation you think that it would be better. Maybe there's a different take on it that you think that would be better to change these champions around. Thanks so much for your time, guys. I appreciate the support. Please subscribe, and I'll see you all on a video soon.